This is CoreTV News on the hour with Nifemi Oguntoye. With the expiration of the 3-year statutory tenure of local council chairmen and councillors in Lagos, the Lagos state government has directed all the chairmen to hand over the affairs of the councils to council managers. In the release signed by the State Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Lateef Ibirogba, the state government further directed that all affected officials, including supervisors, council secretaries, and all other political appointees, should vacate their offices before the end of work today, in line with the requirement of the law. The Lagos state government urged the outgoing chairman to coordinate the handing over exercise in the respective local council with the council managers who will be in charge of the day-to-day administration until the election of new officers into the local council. The federal government has dragged the Nigerian bottling company NBC Limited, bottlers of Coca-Cola, and its chief executive before a federal high court in Abuja for alleged breach of the Consumer Protection Council Act. The charges were filed on behalf of the government by the Attorney General of the Federation, Mohammed Adoke, while a one-count charge was preferred against the NBC and its managing director. A two-count charge was slammed on Coca-Cola Nigeria Limited and its chief executive. The two criminal cases have been listed before Justice Evo Chukwu of the Federal High Court in Abuja, but a date is yet to be fixed for the hearing of the cases. The two executives of the companies are liable to jail terms ranging from 3 to 5 years if found guilty. France and Germany have called on the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to defend Nigeria's honor by presiding over credible elections in 2015. The French Minister of Foreign Affairs, Laurent Fabius, gave the advice when he and his German counterpart Frank Seymour led a delegation on a courtesy visit on INEC Chairman Atahiru Jega in Abuja. They pledged financial support from the European Union for the process and sought assurances from INEC that the current security challenge would not hamper elections in affected states. Responding, INEC chairman said the commission was working closely with security agencies and expressed hope that before the 2015 general elections, tremendous success would have been achieved to ensure that the exercise is peaceful and credible throughout the country. The People's Democratic Party in Lagos says all is set ahead of the 2015 general elections, particularly the governorship poll in the state. Oluwaseyi Adegoke witnessed a flurry of activities at the party secretariat in Lagos and brought back the support.
The race for the Lagos State Government House come 2015 is increasing by the day across party lines. The People's Democratic Party says it is ready for the election at all levels.
I'm not surprised. A lot of quality, well-educated people who can make things happen in politics have chosen to join PDP. In the same vein, the aspirants are quality aspirants from House of Assembly to that of the House of Representatives to the Senate, and of course the governorship. There is a power tussle, and we are happy it's like that.
Nearly all the constituency, federal constituency, all the state assembly constituency too, people have been coming from different parts of the states. Although we still have some few local government that nobody has showed up, but most of the local government, a lot of people have really turned up and purchased our forms.
One of the party's aspirants for the House of Representatives, Shodunke Oludoto, who came for his nomination form at the PDP Secretariat, speaks on the preparation.
We are sensitizing our people on the importance of having a change this year, especially in Lagos. You know, we through the People's Democratic Party, a party that offers quality, we are going to offer a quality governance in Lagos, as it were, and very transparent one. And the sensitization is just everywhere.
PDP have prepared well for 2015 election. We are prepared well. We have a lot of plans for the Lagos, and also about the primary. You know, PDP is a democratic party in which we give all aspirants playing level ground for everybody to participate in the primary. And inshallah, by God's grace, anybody we present shall win the governor in 2015 by God's grace.
The party says positive change is the key point on the PDP's agenda for the 2015 general elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
A coalition of youth groups from Nasarawa State on Monday picked the PDP nomination farm for former Information Minister Labaran Maku to seek the party's ticket for next year's election. The groups were led by the leadership of the state chapter of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, who claimed that the youths mobilized funds to buy the farm. They also insisted that Maku has the backing of all youth groups in the state.
Having endorsed him in life here some months ago, we have come together and agreed that we must source for funds to come and pick the form for him in Abuja here, so that we will make sure that he wins the election come 2015 general election for next year general election. So we will do our best and keep on campaigning for him, door-to-door campaign, as long as media campaign too, because it is well known that he is the most credible candidate in the entire state. We've gone and did a thorough research among all the contestants. And what we see is that Labaran Maku, being a politician right from the university level, he has done a wonderful work, a credible work. He has been a union leader, he has been a commissioner in the state, he has become a deputy governor. Now he has just resigned as a Minister of Information, and we have seen that in all these offices he has held, he has done the most credible work in which nobody in the state will do it ever. And we are sure that if he comes as the governor of the state, he will do the best of the best.
It's only a few weeks after Bala Ngilari was sworn in as Adamawa State Governor, but there are indications now that he's keen on running for the gubernatorial seat on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. This was after a group of indigents of the state turned up at the PDP National Secretariat in Abuja to pick a nomination firm on his behalf. Members of the amalgamation of non-partisan group insisted that it's the wish of the people for Governor Ngilari to contest in 2015.
This is the first time in the political history of Adamawa State that a group will pick a party nomination form for any aspirant. But members of the group who described themselves as non-partisan say they are keen on making sure that Governor Ngilari contests for the governorship seat in 2015, which is why they say they mobilized to come down to Abuja to obtain PDP's governorship nomination form on his behalf.
I don't know for how long, but we promise you that Bala James Ngilari will give the appropriate leadership and Adamawa will be won landslide.
The leadership of the group said at a press briefing shortly after collecting the form that they are not in support of the zoning formula currently making the rounds in Adamawa State.
Everybody in Adamawa knew Bala was from the northern zone. Nobody said anything for the past 8 years. During the time of impeachment, there were things that took place that necessitated Bala to leave office. But Providence has made it now that he is the governor. And he has been deputy governor for 8 years. There's no reason why this man should not be given the opportunity to rule this state.
They acknowledged that the newly installed governor had been given the option to contest for the senatorial seat and not the governorship. But this pro-Ngilari group say they will compel him to seek the PDP's governorship ticket.
It was being speculated, and he did carry a senatorial form. But we, as the people of Adamawa State, as can be seen by this representation, have decided that it is the governorship position that Bala should go for.
We are here having been convinced that the governor has the right to contest the gubernatorial election, and nobody should set standards or otherwise.
They say over 12 groups contributed the money used in obtaining the nomination form for Balangilari, but there is still no independent confirmation of the governor's interest in the 2015 elections. And now that it's only a few weeks to the party primaries, it remains to be seen how the party leaders will respond to the clamor by this group for Ngilari to seek to extend his stay in the Adamawa State House. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Still in Adamawa State, Governor Balangilari says the conduct of local government elections should be left in the hand of State Independent Electoral Commission. Ngilari made this known while addressing a delegation of Adamawa State Chairman of Boards and parastatals who came on a courtesy visit.
Local government elections should still remain the preserve of a state government, you know. But to say we should saddle INEC with conduct of local government elections in states, I think it would be too much.
The governor also promised to continue all valuable projects initiated by
I've not
previous
come
administrations.
here to jettison any laudable projects. That's not my business, you know. That has been the lot of the past regimes. People will simply set aside even viable projects and say they must start their own. I think that is not the essence of government. So by and large, you can trust that we'll be on the same page.
Meanwhile, residents of Adamawa State have been called upon to work together in ensuring a lasting peace in the state. The call was made by the state governor, Balangilari, while addressing representatives of the Adamawa State chapter of the Muslim Council of Nigeria, as well as the Christian Association of Nigeria.
The need for the Muslim Council and the CAN to have a roadmap in this state, how we can help the problem of insecurity, the problem of fostering peace and stability in our state. I put so much premium on you because even by the introduction, your backgrounds speak volumes, and our people would expect nothing less than the best from you. And you can count on me to support you to the best of our abilities so that you can play a very effective role in our state towards maintaining peace and stability.
He reiterated the need for the people to unite irrespective of tribe and religion and promised to be fair to all without prejudice.
I want to assure you that I will not discriminate against anybody on grounds of religion or ethnicity. You know, I will be fair and just to everybody, Christians, Muslims, and even pagans. That is what God expects me to do here.
You're on to CoreTV News on the hour. I'll be back after this break with more stories. Don't go away.
Der Torschütze zum zwischenzeitlichen 1:1. Emenike schickt Musa, da ist Ahmed Musa! Und da ist der Ausgleich!
It's a beautiful Saturday evening in the city of Lagos.
Off the turn, the Phelps had it, but then Matsui kept going.
Finals. 5 to shoot. Leonard does.
And of course, making it for all of us here from all of the thanks for one pleasure.
Welcome back. For more on the news, you can also reach us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's facebook.com/CoreTV News. Our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. You can watch our news and other programs on YouTube. It's youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. The Nigeria Labour Congress has mandated its leadership to meet with the Senate and the House of Representatives with a view to clarifying their stance on the removal of wages and labour issues from the executive legislative list to the concurrent list. This was one of the decisions reached at the National Executive Council meeting in Abuja. Organized Labour also vowed to fight any attempts by political office holders to trample on the rights of the Nigerian worker.
In spite of denials by some officers of the National Assembly to the contrary, NEC directed its members to commence immediate mobilization of members, including visiting their respective representatives in the State Houses of Assembly and the National Assembly to demand their input in maintaining the status quo of labor on the exclusive list. The NEC in session mandated the leadership of Congress to meet with the leadership of the Senate to ascertain the veracity of, or otherwise of the claim that it is leading the crusade for the deregulation of wages in the country on one hand, and on the other, to meet the leadership of the House of Representatives for reassurances that it has not relinquished its honorable pledge to retain wages on the exclusive list. On the other hand, the NEC warned that it will work against the interests of any seeker of political office who chooses to trample on the rights of Nigerian workers.
A medical expert has now revealed that about 10% Nigerians are suffering from chronic kidney disease. CoreTV News visited the Lagos University Teaching Hospital where it encountered patients recuperating from the disease. Anita Fatuji was there and filed in this report.
Chronic kidney disease is a progressive loss in renal failure over a period of months or years. The symptoms of worsening kidney functions are non-specific and might include feeling generally unwell and experiencing a reduced appetite. A medical expert, Oluwatoyin Amira, says about 10% of Nigerians have chronic kidney disease.
When we're talking about chronic kidney disease, there are different stages. What the public knows out there is what we call stage 5, when the patient has end-stage renal disease and has to be on some form of supportive therapy, either dialysis or transplantation. But that is the tip of the iceberg.
She, however, admonished Nigerians to cultivate the habit of routine medical checkup.
Once or twice a year, it's not too much. And these tests are very, very simple. Your urine check, blood sugar, blood pressure, and blood test. But be that as it may, as the disease advances, the patient, the individual could notice ill health, feeling unwell, swelling of the legs, swelling of the face when he wakes up in the morning.
Some recuperating patients also share their experiences.
When he started, I thought it was typhoid and malaria. So I was treating typhoid and malaria. At that time, I have to go for test. So after the test, when the result came out, my kidney is bad. So I was directed to
clinic, and one thing is that we should try, whatever we're doing, that we should try and make sure we look at ourselves, we take cognizance of what is happening to us.
There have been increased calls for government at all levels to set up a health insurance scheme for patients as a result of the huge treatment costs associated with the disease. Anita Fatunji, CoreTV News, Lagos.
And in a bid to forestall further outbreak of infectious diseases, including Ebola in Lagos, Governor Babatunde Fashola has appointed Adekemi Shekoni as a scientific advisor. Abiola Oluwole was at the inauguration. His report is presented from our studios.
In spite of the Ebola-free status given to Nigeria by the World Health Organization, Lagos is putting everything in place to avert another outbreak of infectious disease in the state. These were the words of Governor Fashola after the appointment of Adikemi Shekoni as a scientific advisor. Fashola says considering the fact that Ebola will not be the last infectious disease that will threaten human existence, the role of the scientific advisor is to guide government on scientific related research that will add value to public health.
And that's why we found a scientist who has done some work in epidemiology, in public health, because public health issues are the biggest issues in urban centers today. So when we're talking about noise pollution, reduce horn as a first step, it's all about public health, reducing deafness, reducing stress. So what should we do, assuming that we get reinfected? These are many more questions which we must find credible answers to and develop well thought out plans ahead of today.
Shekoni promised to ensure structure that will further tame the outbreak of infectious diseases in Lagos.
We want to see how we can maximally use evidence that has been gathered from research in moving the state forward, in preparing for emergencies, including disease outbreaks, and other issues that can affect the well-being of Lagosians as a whole.
Shekoni is a lecturer in epidemiology at the Lagos University Teaching Hospital, Idiaraba.
Outside Nigeria, South African prosecutors say they are going to appeal against the conviction and sentence given to athlete Oscar Pistorius for killing his girlfriend. Last week, Pistorius began serving a 5-year prison sentence for the culpable homicide of River Stinkham. Although he could be out in 10 months, the double amputee Olympic sprinter was cleared of murder. The appeal and conviction is based on the question of law, according to the national prosecuting spokesman. Pistorius' family had earlier said he will not appeal. The athlete was also given a 3-year suspended sentence for firing a gun in a restaurant. The prosecutors are now preparing the necessary papers in order to be able to file within the next few days, says Nafi Monkube from the National Prosecuting Authority in a statement. The Nigerian Football Federation (NFF) has said that the Super Eagles will train in Warri, Delta State ahead of the 2015 African Cup of Nations qualifier against Congo in Port-Noire. General Secretary of the Nigerian Football Federation, Musa Amadou, dropped this hint while meeting with the team's technical crew and support staff inside Abuja. Nigeria are built to confront Congo on the 15th of November in Port-Noire in a must-win game that will be played on an artificial pitch. The Super Eagles need to beat Congo with a clear 2-goal margin or get a higher scoreline of victory than Congo's 3-2 win in Calabar to be able to be ahead of the Red Devils in Group A after the November 15 clash. With 4 points, Nigeria are behind leader South Africa, who has 9 points, and Congo with 7 points, but ahead of Sudan going into the final round of the qualifiers. And that wraps it this hour on CoreTV News. Coming up next is Core Digest. Stay with us.